full experience. All the videos, multimedia, blogs, and breaking stories 24 hours a day. Plus, get access to the Times wherever you go with custom apps for your smartphone or tablet. Just call 1-800-257-0191 or go to nytimes.com 99 cents and see for yourself why a Times digital subscription is an experience you won't want to miss. Try it now, just 99 cents for your first 4 weeks.
There was another victory tonight. He had a victory, but we have had a victory for the cause of liberty tonight. There is no doubt that this whole effort that we are involved in will not go unnoticed. Let me tell you. I think the intellectual revolution that's going on now to restore liberty in this country is well on its way, and there's no way they're going to stop the momentum that we have started.
Well, that was, of course, U.S. Congressman Ron Paul of Texas earlier this evening proclaiming a victory of his own tonight in New Hampshire. NBC News is projecting that Romney is the winner, of course, the New Hampshire primary. No surprise there. But Ron Paul won, according to us at NBC. He came in second, followed by John Huntsman in third. Newt Gingrich, by the way, and Rick Santorum were back in the pack, fighting for fourth with about 10% of the vote each. By the way, Ron Paul is a true libertarian who has been making inroads with war-weary voters for a long time, speaking forcefully about ending America's wars overseas. With me now is Doug Wead, a senior advisor to the Ron Paul. Doug, congratulations, because in a way there was questions all day about whether your candidate could come in second. He's won an uncontested second place tonight. And it's interesting, and I want you to put it in your words. Your candidate, the congressman, spoke about having a victory tonight. Why is coming in second for Ron Paul a victory?
Because it's Mitt Romney's home state, and because he's been up against a very negative portrayal. And thank God for Al Gore and the internet. People can go to the internet and they can read the facts. And you know, they don't trust professionals anymore, whether it's lawyers or doctors. They Google the facts. And this is no longer a country of the pundits, by the pundits, and for the pundits. I mean,
well, one pundit I know believes that the good thing about the Ron Paul campaign is that it appeals to the original Republican Party, not the party polluted by the segregationists who joined it in the 60s, or the moral majority who brought their thoughts into the party and changed it, and of course the neocons who came in later. The people, the droppings, I should call them, of the Democratic Party, I think have hurt the Republican Party intellectually and screwed it up. But your candidate seems to appeal to youth. He appeals to people who are tired of all these wars, these overcommitments overseas. In many ways, like the older Barry Goldwater appealed to people. What is his? Distill it down. What does he have that appeals to people in their 20s? My kids take a good look at him. I think they won't vote for him. They won't get a chance probably in the general. But what is it about him that appeals to kids in their 20s?
He's incorruptible, and corruption has become a big deal. I mean, now your car mechanic can tell you about the Federal Reserve. And here are these young students who are paying 8%, 12%, some of them 16% interest on their student loans, and they read about this fight to keep the Federal Reserve from being transparent and being audited. And when Ron Paul gets a partial audit, we get a little look, we see $16 trillion. The national debt's only $14 trillion. $16 trillion created in 2008, given to these banks that sit on the board, their own banks. Conflict of interest. 0% interest loans, and then you students, you're going to pay a 6%, 8%, 12%. It's sickening. Okay. And they want Ron Paul to be their commander-in-chief. They know Ron Paul isn't going to send them to war to make some contractor rich. So I think it's corruption. It's corruption on Wall Street, on K Street, and lobbyists. And here's an old country doctor who won't take the congressional pension, who gives back some of his own congressional allowance to the U.S. Treasury, who's incorruptible. And you couldn't make up something like Ron Paul.
And he's also anti-war, right? Generally speaking, he comes off as a person who's not for these overseas adventures of W's persuasion, right? Is it fair to say that's a big part of his appeal?
Absolutely. You remember in 1964 how they railed about Barry Goldwater, and they called him dangerous because if he's elected president, he'll trigger a nuclear war. Now they're saying Ron Paul is dangerous because if he's elected president, he won't. Well, the young people don't mind having peace.
Okay, let me ask you about the realities of life here. And I have nothing against him personally, but Ron Paul's 76. He'll be 77 next year. Is he actually running to become president of the United States, or is this another kind of purpose here besides actually winning in reality?
He's running for president. We like 76, the spirit of 76. One of our forum writers said, hey, 76 trombones led the big parade.
Okay.
And for us, you know, look at Adenauer. He was 89. He was still in power. And de Gaulle at 76. It's not unprecedented. The hard
Okay, you're
thing
for
is,
seriously wrong. Okay, to get to the presidency, you may have to go by another route. Have you foreclosed going by the third-party route if you
It's
don't
not
win the
gonna
Republican
happen.
nomination?
It's not going to happen. It'll be fun for you guys to talk about it. We see this as essentially as a two-man race. I know it's more fun for you guys to have the horse race, and some of us tonight we're rooting for Huntsman because we'd like for him to stay in and take votes away from Romney. But Huntsman's not even on the ballot in Illinois or Arizona. There are 4 Greens running for president in Arizona. Huntsman's not even on the ballot in Arizona. Santorum, Gingrich not in Virginia. So it's a two-man race right now.
Well, I think you guys are going to blow it because I think there's going to be a third-party opportunity out there. If Romney wins the Republican nomination, there's a lot of room to his right, and somebody else is going to grab it, and you guys are going to wish you did. Anyway, thank you, Doug Weed. You're ready to forego an obvious route to the White House. That's your call. Up next, let's look ahead to South Carolina, where Romney is spending big money to wrap it all up down there. By the way, if you win South Carolina, historically, you do pick up the marbles. You win the nomination. Newt Gingrich, by the way, is also spending money, and looks like a last-ditch play to bring down Mitt. That fight's coming up, and it's going to get ugly. It already is. MSNBC's coverage of the New Hampshire primary just ended today. Will continue in just a moment.
President Obama wants to put free enterprise on trial. And in the last few days, we've seen some desperate Republicans join forces with him. This is such a mistake for our party and for our nation. The country already has a leader who divides us with the bitter politics of envy. We have to offer an alternative vision. I stand ready to lead us down a different path where we're lifted up by our desire to succeed, not dragged down by a resentment of success.
When the financial system and the banks blew up at the end of the Bush presidency, that left our country in the worst economic hole we have been in since the Great Depression. Unemployment, businesses failing, the poverty numbers. One silver lining, actually, in the poverty numbers is older Americans. Older Americans, relatively speaking, are doing okay, even in these hard times. And that's because of Social Security, which is not a Ponzi scheme. It is not bankrupting us. It is not an outrage. It is working.
With Expedia Rewards, I now earn points however I travel.
Here's your hot towel, sir.
Oh, thanks. Even if I can't always fly the same airline.
Careful, it's very hot.
Or stay at the same hotel. Because now, with Expedia Rewards, I earn points for any flight and any hotel, too.
I've been known to do a little bit of skiing, so maybe.
Rewards any way I travel. Except naked. What a shame. Expedia.com.
What is it, shorty?
Tissue, sir? I'm sick.
You don't cough. You don't show defeat. Give me your war face!
Halls, a pep talk in every drop.
We know a place where tossing and turning have given way to sleeping, where sleepless nights yield to restful sleep, and Lunesta can help you get there, like it has for so many people before.
When taking Lunesta, don't drive or operate machinery until you feel fully awake. Walking, eating, driving, or engaging in other activities while asleep without remembering it the next day have been reported. Abnormal behaviors may include aggressiveness, agitation, hallucinations, or confusion. In depressed patients, worsening of depression, including risk of suicide, may occur. Alcohol may increase these risks. Allergic reactions such as tongue or throat swelling occur rarely and may be fatal. Side effects may include unpleasant taste, headache, dizziness, and morning drowsiness.
Ask your doctor if Lunesta is right for you. Then get Lunesta for $0 at lunesta.com. There's a land of restful sleep. We can help you go there on the wings of Lunesta.
To the 5 a.m. scholar, the 2 trains and a bus rider, the I'll sleep when it's done academic. For 80 years, we've been inspired by you, and we've been honored to walk with you to help you get where you want to be. Because your moment is now. Let nothing stand in your way. Learn more at keller.edu.
Instantly smooth wrinkles with a shot? Wait a second. With Olay, challenge that. New Regenerist Wrinkle Revolution relaxes the look of wrinkles instantly and the look of deep wrinkles in 14 days.
Ready, set, smooth.
Regenerist from Olay.
Hey guys, breakfast!
If whole grain isn't the first ingredient in your breakfast cereal, what is? Now, in every box of General Mills Big G cereal, there's more whole grain than any other ingredient. That's why it's listed first on the side. From Honey Nut Cheerios to Cinnamon Toast Crunch to Lucky Charms. Get more whole grain than any other ingredient without question. Just look for the white check.
This campaign is going to go on to South Carolina. I believe if we had a Republican House, a Republican Senate, and a Gingrich presidency, it would be amazing how much we could get done and how rapidly we could get it done.
Wow, welcome back to Harbor. That was the former House Speaker Newt Gingrich just a short while ago, pledging to move on to the next primary in South Carolina, but without sort of the battle cry we all expected. No one's dropping out. In fact, no one, as they say in the movies or on television, is off the island now. New Hampshire results mean nothing, apparently. They're all staying in. The non-Romneys in this race have to win some conservative votes somewhere, and the next opportunity is the southern state of South Carolina. But at this point in the race, can anyone really topple the front runner? South Carolina's own Eugene Robinson, in fact, the favorite son of that cradle of liberty. Just kidding. He's an MSNBC political analyst and, of course, a Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist for the Washington Post. And the great historian and journalist, Jonathan Alter, is an MSNBC political analyst. Well, you guys have deep history going for you. I think I got to search very deep here to see the optimism of either. Let me start with you, John. You haven't been on tonight. The optimism of any of these other camps. Newt went sort of into neutral gear tonight. He didn't keep attacking Mitt Romney as he has been the last several days. What is he in this for at this point, except he's got ads paid for? He might as well stick around a few weeks.
Well, he can live off the land the way he did for so much of 2011. He gets to explain his ideas before a big national audience, play the professor, which he likes to do. And also, remember, he sees himself as a son of destiny, a Churchillian figure. Churchill had those years in the wilderness. From his comments tonight, he felt like he was just coming out of some weeks in the wilderness, and he will go on to triumph. I think he truly believes, Chris, that he will be the nominee. That's how many delusions of grandeur this gentleman has.
Snoopy thought he was dueling the Red Dragon, too. It doesn't really matter, except, I guess, subjectively here. Why is Newt still in the race in your home state?
Ego, I think, and I don't think he'll particularly get anywhere for this reason. As long as all these other conservative candidates are in the race, and you have Romney, it's great for Romney.
I think alike.
Romney
Why
is
did he?
fine.
Let's get back to the hard gamesmanship of this. Yeah. Why did he pull up Pawlenty tonight? He had his chance to sock the other guy in the face. He didn't do it.
Yeah, he
Everybody knew where he was heading. He didn't do it.
I don't know why. I mean, we know he's going to hit him, though. He's coming out with the documentary against.
Was he going to play it the way Mitt Romney does? Let the documentary do the dirty work, and I'll be smiling.
He didn't do it on Saturday night in the debate either. Remember, we never know which Newt is going to show up. So he's completely erratic. He's one of the more erratic public. He makes John McCain look like a figure of stability and solidity. when it
Okay,
comes to
we
being-
have it. I mean, I'm a co-religionist, and I find this a unique conversation. We have two Roman Catholics, one a convert, one born Catholic, heading down into the Bible Belt in your part of the country to try to win the hearts and minds.
From two Mormons.
From two Mormons, right.
This is
Taking
a
away from two
revolt
Mormons.
development. If you're a white Protestant from the South, who do you pick?
Well, you know what they're going to do. They're going to vote for Romney. Is what they're going to do. I think. I mean,